Incoming transmission standby. Welcome to the Nod News Network. If the SNP wins a majority of seats, Prime Minister Humza Yousaf has promised to open secession talks with London. The Scottish National Party, SNP, will immediately begin negotiations with the British government to leave the UK if it wins a majority of seats in Scotland in next year's general election, according to a new strategy announced by the First Secretary. Drafted by Stephen Flynn, the SNP's Westminster leader, the strategy, outlined in a motion approved by Yousaf earlier this week, will be debated at a party conference in Aberdeen next month. The motion states that if the SNP wins a majority of seats in Scotland, the Scottish Government has the right to enter into immediate negotiations with the UK Government to bring democracy into effect for Scotland and become an independent nation, iNews reported on Thursday. The motion also explains that Scottish lawmakers will publish a document setting out the terms of the independence negotiations, as well as a draft devolution legal text from Westminster. Under Yousaf's predecessor, Nicola Sturgeon, Scotland held a referendum to leave the United Kingdom in 2014. Although the public voted 55 to 44% to remain in the UK, Sturgeon and Yousaf have both claimed that support for independence has risen since Britain left the EU in 2016, with Sturgeon promising a second referendum last year, and Yousaf now proposing that his party could jump straight into talks if elected. Yousaf has also promised that he would seek EU membership if Scotland wins its independence. Successive Conservative British Prime Ministers have said that they would not honour a second referendum. Asked on Friday whether he thinks Labour Party leader Keir Starmer would be more open to talks, he replied, "It's really a question for Keir Starmer. If we are given another mandate from the people of Scotland, to put independence into democratic effect, who is he to deny the people of Scotland?" he continued. Yousaf added that since Westminster is unlikely to approve a second referendum, we have to use the next election to do that. Yousaf's strategy has been heavily criticised, with former SNP leader Alex Salmond telling reporters on Friday that no one seriously believes that proposing a majority of seats as an independence mandate is at all credible. Given that Westminster have been allowed over repeated elections to dismiss a majority of SNP seats as a mandate for a mere referendum, why on earth would they concede it as a mandate for negotiating independence itself? Salmond asked. 8 out of 10 major polls since mid-June show negative public support for independence, with one poll tied and another showing a narrow lead for the pro-independence camp. This has been the Nod News Network, transmission complete.